Good morning, people of God. Today, we are going to talk about power. Listen very carefully. This is important. We are going to talk about power. Now, in Psalms chapter 62, verse 11, it says, God has spoken once, twice have I heard that power belongs to God. Power belongs, whatever kind of power that you are thinking of, it belongs to God. So, this means that power is a product of God's creation. God created power. It's not like power is something that God exercises that is overall, or no, there is something that is bigger, more powerful than power that God uses. Before he created power, he only created power and distributed power to angels, and angels exercises power, authorities and powers, they exercises power. But this thing is one thing that God was using before the creation of power. What is it? In Luke chapter 9 verse 55, Jesus was going to Jerusalem through Samaria. The people of Samaritan, they came out and they did not allow him to pass through. And the disciples of Jesus said, should we call down fire just like Elijah did? Jesus turned around and rebuked them and said, you do not know the kind of spirit you carry. That means the kind of spirit Jesus came with was not the same kind of spirit that Elijah operated with. Elijah operated with the spirit of power, which was a product of God's creation. But Jesus came in the spirit of love. Remember the power of Jesus. The Bible said that God is love. If you don't walk in love, you don't know God. That's what the Bible said. So love is more powerful than power. Jesus came with the spirit of love. And this is why whenever he looked at the sick, the Bible will say he felt compassion. He tried to ask questions. When he met the man at the pool of Bethesda, he tried to ask questions. How long have you been here? Because he's trying to activate that spirit of love. And then whenever that spirit of love is activated, he doesn't need to pray for you anymore. He will just say, go. Your faith has made you whole. Because that spirit of love, when it activates, it solves the problem. This is what God operated with. When God met Moses at the Mount of Sinai, let's see what God said about himself. In Exodus, let's go. Exodus, in the book of Exodus chapter 34 verse 6. Let's see what God said about himself. God came down, the Lord descended in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of the Lord. The Lord passed by before him, before Moses, and proclaimed, the Lord, a merciful and gracious God, slow to anger and abundant in loving kindness. Abundant in loving kindness and truth. God did not speak of himself as power, as I can do this, I can do that. No. All the things that God spoke about himself has to do with love. Merciful, gracious. You see, power can be good or bad. Power can be manipulated by someone and be good, for good or bad, but love can only be used for good. You cannot use love for bad. This is why God is love. He operated in love. You see, love can change the future, but power can change now. Power can only change now. Power can do things now. But love can program the future. Whenever God is asking you to love your neighbor as yourself, love God. He is not asking you to be weak, because this is what comes to our mind. Whenever God is saying love your neighbor as yourself, it's like when my neighbor slapped me, I have to turn back here and he slapped me back, and I will go home looking like I've been defeated. No. Love programs the future. As a matter of fact, if you have the love in you, that means you are more powerful than that person. Because the moment somebody slap you here and you turn around, the person slap you again and you go home, you become more, the person does not know your mind. The person becomes afraid. The person can come and shout all they want, but inside them they become afraid of you because they don't know what you will do. And it's a matter of fact, whenever you do that, God takes up that case, because now is a matter of love. You have exercised what God wants you to do. You will become more powerful when you walk in love. You see, people try to get the power of healing, get the power of deliverance, get the power, but they don't know that all these things, if you really want to do them with God, you have to walk in love. Because it takes you coming and seeing somebody sick and feel genuine compassion for you to lay hand on the sick and they get healed. If you don't feel genuine compassion, then you have to go back and use power. If you have to do it with God, the presence of God, and not power, then it has to come with genuine love. God has commanded us to love, not because he wants us to be weak, but because he wants us to walk in power. When you walk in love, you walk in power. We need to have a rethink in this.